All right, internet. So I bought this 64 Chevy 2, and I did a video, and man, some of you guys really hurt my feelings. There were comments like this and this. Hopefully I remember to edit those in there, but saying I overpaid for this hot rod. So I paid $5,000, 64 Nova, 2-door post, relatively rust-free, a little bit of floor work, came with patch panels, whole interior. We got it running and driving, and in my mind, I don't know what year you guys are living in, but any car is it's worth money now. It's ridiculous. Now, I agree that the money that these cars are commanding now is just, it's getting insane. But you know what? It is what it is. The option is get in or get out. But anyway, so if you can find me one of those cars for $500, look, American money. I brought this down to Newburgh and I was going to buy hot rods. It's real. So if you can find cars for $500, no, I need that to buy these hot rods. So at $500 for this car, or $1,000 for this car, doesn't matter what the shipping cost is, I'm going to win. I'll buy every single one. So email me, Dan at DD Speed Shop, and put your money, I'll put my money where your mouth is, because I think you're full of shit. But, sorry YouTube editing. Anyways, so in all reality, this car here, in my mind, if you go back 2 or 3 years, 4 years, but pre-pandemic, that's when all the prices kind of started going crazy. It's a 6-cylinder automatic, 2-door, kind of complete. It's a $3,500 car, $3,000 car. That would have been a fair price. That would have been a deal today, a fair price back then. And, $5,000 now is definitely not cheap. But I actually think that get it running and driving, put the glass in it, put some interior in it, make it kind of run and drive. I think I could easily make money on this. In the meantime, we got kind of a cool hot rod to play with. So, unfortunately, hot rods are coming to an end of the cheap, affordable stuff if you want to go name brand. Now, what I want to do is go around, we'll talk about a few different cars we have, and I'll show you what I paid for them, because maybe I haven't done that in videos past. I haven't said exactly what everything cost. So maybe people thought, maybe the whole time I've been crazy. But this Opal is a perfect example. So this thing here, I think I gave $2,000 for it. $2,000, $2,500 in that range, with no motor, no transmission. It had seats in it, but no other interior. So relatively the same as that Nova. It's fairly rust-free, but someone had tried to jam another motor in there, so the firewall and all, it was all beat up, so I had to fix that. I bought a motor and trans for it, which I got maybe $1,000 into it, plus a wiring harness for it. Then it needs a fuel system, and then. So no matter what, for a relatively, I thought, rust-free kind of nice car, go through the whole front end, we'll have $5,000 in this thing. And what the hell is an Opal GT worth? Plus, I think Danny wants a Nova anyway, so this might be for sale. She said yes. So, anyways, it's probably worth like $10,000, $12,000. Dan at ddspeedshop.ca. This 56 Chevy wagon, this thing was a funny story. This guy, I put it inside the car. I had some wing windows for the Nomad. I went and bought a set of headers from a guy. He was out of town, so he said, I'll meet you halfway. And he has a small block Chevy Tri-5 headers. We started talking, as a guy does. He's, you're putting it on a Tri-5. I said, yeah. I got a few, this and that. We started talking. I said, I'm actually looking for a wagon. He goes, do I have a wagon for you? So I went out and looked at this thing. And there's lots of videos on it if you want to go back and look. The floor was rotted clean out of it, front to back. The windshield was smashed. No motor, no transmission. And again, I want to say it was $2,000. I think that's like a number I like to pay. So I think I had $2,000 in this thing. And then you got to get it home. By the time you put even just your cheap small block Chevy and automatic, those aren't $500 anymore. You're going to pay $1,000, give or take, for a decent motor and trans. Argue in the comments. I'm sure your sister's brother's nephew has a rebuilt 3/4 race cam for $250. But I look for stuff every single day, and those deals are far and few between. Anyways, you got a floor pan in it, which the floor pans are ridiculous. $1,500 floor pans. Now you're $3,500 in the car, another $1,000 in a motor and transmission. You're $4,500 into it. You got to put a windshield in it. $5,000. $5,000. And putting a floor pan in a car, if you're doing it yourself, it sucks. It's awful. And if you got to pay a guy to do it, I could only imagine what that would cost. Then there you go. So that's kind of that. Now let's.
You had to do the seats.
I did the seats. The seats were ripped out of it. Like, it was garbage. This thing was terrible. All new wiring. I mean, that's besides the point. I'm just talking about the initial kind of getting the car and at the level of the old Chevy 2. Can't believe how bad you wrinkled that bumper. I got a new one today. Picked it up. Anyway, now let's go look at some of the more expensive stuff on the other side. Okay, you want to talk future or more bad investments? We'll get a little daylight and fresh air. This 55 Chevy Nomad. So this thing I bought for $3,000. Now I realize this is a very unique situation because it's a Nomad. It is worth probably a decent amount of money, even as shitty as it may be. I think I paid $3,350. It was on the other side of the country. I had to trade my buddy Josh a roached out Challenger, which I think I paid $500 or $600 for, in exchange for driving out there and bringing it to me. So we're $4,000 into this thing. The way it showed up, I changed fender's hood, didn't have a door, almost zero glass. I put all the glass was $1,800. Floor pan, I changed the chassis. Like, it was an absolute basket case. So next thing you know, it's just ridiculous. So in my humble opinion, if you were to buy a car, buy the best car you can, or best shape you can, even if it costs a few more dollars. Because even if this car was, let's say it was $15,000, you really want a Nomad, but it was rust-free and had all the stupid trim and all that, you'd be so much further ahead. Luckily for me, I can offset some of those costs by making terrible YouTube videos, and people get to judge me in the comments. This car here, people love it. This thing was a 4-door, 150, original owner, no motor, no trans. I think it was pretty complete though, and it was $1,500. I think I paid for this, and this was a good deal in my mind. I wanted the base model. I wanted a 150. I then converted it to a 2-door. But that's the other thing. These damn 4-door Tri-5s. Somebody keeps posting videos on them, and the value keeps just going up and up and up. So $1,500 in this. It needed a floor pan and needed a motor transmission. So you're roughly in the same boat as you would have been with that wagon. So in my mind, yet again, to have a running, driving 4-door hot rod, $5,000. Everything is $5,000. This stupid kit car, it's all tarped up or whatever, but we bought this. Danny liked it, so I bought it. A little Sebring dealie. I think I bid it up to, I think it was $3,500. I think I paid up a little bit for this thing, which I thought was a deal. $3,500, and then obviously it has nothing, no motor, no transmission. It had a rear end. I had to put a 4-link in it. We rebuilt the front suspension. It was all like Pinto 2 stuff, or Mustang 2 Pinto jobby stuff, which you'd think, oh, it's Mustang 2, it's cheap. No, it's not cheap. Everything's expensive now. I mean, I was pricing out ball joints on that stupid Chevy 2, $60 for one Moog ball joint. Like, everything is a fortune. So this is $5,000. You know, I'm not gonna lie, while we're doing this video, I'm starting to feel like I know where the money goes. There's a lot of $5,000 hits.
Really?
Let's go, oh, hi neighbor. Let's go to the front yard and we'll look at Danny's car, because that was the best deal of the bunch. So this car here, well, it's actually Danny's car, was probably the best car I've ever bought. I paid $700 for it. It was a 4-door. It had 350 and a turbo 350 motor with it, and I got this thing together for like $1.98. It didn't need any, I don't think I did any body work to it when it was a 4-door. It was 100% complete. The guy had taken it apart, lost interest. We put it all together. I rebuilt the front end and put the motor and trans that came with it in it. It had a drive shaft. All the glass was in it. Maybe I put a windshield in it, I forget. No, yeah, it's still got the original windshield. The rubber's all cracked. It just worked. So this is your $700 car that runs and drives in pieces. This was it. And then the guy I bought it from, actually, I bought it the front end from him. He had all the front end, and he had a power disc brake kit, and I bought the whole deal off of him. And I would say we had this thing on the road for under $1,000, ratty and a patina and all that sort of stuff, but it ran and drove. So they are out there. This car was for sale for a long time. I saw it when I was searching through Marketplace, and I was in the auto parts store getting sheet metal, and I was talking to the guy who knew this car was his buddies, and he said, look man, like, go offer him any amount of money, he'll take it. He just needed it gone, and I think it went $1,500, and I got it for $700, and we towed her home and put it together in a hurry, and Danny drove it for probably a year, I guess, maybe, as a 4-door, and then the best decision I ever made in my life, against Murr's thoughts, turned into a 2-door, and that's basically the start of the whole YouTube channel. So that's that. So that is kind of your basic, I think, what cars are worth and how you should go. I firmly believe now, if it's roached out, it's $2,500, $3,000, maybe something decent's $5,000. And honestly, where I am, I'm not talking everywhere, but for any sort of like a 2-door runner driver, I think you're going to be $5,000 or $10,000 into something in a hurry. The added benefit that we have, we have to make YouTube videos to subsidize some of the cash. But that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching. Oh, we got something to say about that Nova, I guess, real quick, eh? We'll go do that. Okay, so thank you for watching. Subscribe below, all those things. Leave a comment. Now it's time for the Justice for Danny section of the video. Man, there was a lot of people giving Danny attitude for running the Bobcat into the back of this thing. Now, the guy who edited the video may have made it seem like she did a little bit of a worse job than she did. So people were like, put a tire between it, do this, do that.
Women shouldn't be operators.
Hey, some people have a point. This bumper is so KO'd. I understand I'm a hack, and I really appreciate how you guys still watch these things, but there's like, this bumper is woo, and the fuel tank leaks. There's nothing under there that could be damaged anymore than already is. Taillight's broken. This whole quarter panel is folded over. We got to deal with all that. So the garage winch is still working. We could have towed it in. Someone was like, why don't you guys just push it? We could have probably. It's uphill. That's kind of lame. The Bobcat just jamming in the back of it. I told her to do it. It got it in quick and easy, and it's fine. And you know what? I picked up a bumper. I'm gonna bring that home. What's all this? Oh, Bobcat fire up. I'm gonna have a bumper this afternoon, brand used. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Get out there, buy yourself a hot rod. I have cash in my pocket. If you want $500 for a '64 Chevy 2 with no rust, you got it. You got my money. Scene.